Social has changed so many things about our lives. The way we find a contractor, the way we find a restaurant, the way we search for a new job. And it has changed the way we connect with old friends. I actually have my college roommate here today. She's a great customer and CEO of a small business. Social for the Sales Cloud is powered by Chatter. It is the social engine for sales. And companies who are leveraging Chatter for their sales organizations are seeing a tremendous level of transparency, and they're also driving a lot of productivity for their sales teams. And a couple of years ago, when we launched Chatter, we had this vision where sales teams would go beyond the borders of just their local sales team, but begin to leverage the power of their entire sales organization. And today, a rep using Chatter can follow the VP of sales. They can follow people in the sales hierarchy. But they can do a lot more. They can follow the top 10 reps in their company. What are they doing? What is their secret sauce? How are they so great? And how can I learn from them and help me to be better? Well, great sales teams and great sales individuals really leverage the power of the entire organization. And they are tapping into expertise that they can find very, very quickly now because of Chatter. And when a whole organization begins to collaborate, they really become more transparent. They become more customer-centric. And this is why we were so happy last year to launch Chatter groups with our customers. Because today you can take the sales teams and they can collaborate not just within their own company, but they can collaborate with their customer. And imagine a sales rep being able to bring their product experts together with their customers to drive product innovation, as Bruno said, and to speed up the whole life cycle of product innovation. Well, there's one area of your company, one area of the business that really hasn't felt this explosion of social. And it's a part of your company that many of you leverage to get to market, and that's your partners. Well, the old partner technology has kind of made it a little bit difficult for your partners really to engage with you because we gave them too many portals, too many logins. It was just too difficult for them. And that's why we're so excited about Salesforce Chatter Communities for Partners. Because Salesforce Chatter Communities for Partners bring social to the game. Think of your deal registration being social, your lead distribution being social. Think of this kind of like Chatter plus PRM equals this great product. And today, we can create communities of our partners, not just one partner, but maybe even multiple partners, together with our own employees and with our customers to really drive a complete solution and to speed up the way we win deals. Now, like it or not, we are carrying important information on our phones and on our tablets. And we're doing that because it just makes us more productive and gives us speed, it gives us agility, it makes us respond to our customers that much faster. But sometimes these documents aren't sitting there in a very safe and secure place. And that's why we're so excited about Salesforce Chatterbox for sales reps. Because now the sales reps can take their price list, their customer proposal, their corporate presentation, all with them in their pocket on any device at any time, even when they're disconnected. And the IT organization and the executives with the company can rest assured that that data is remaining safe and secure and a valuable corporate asset. Now, one company that has had tremendous success with the Sales Cloud is Honeywell. You may know Honeywell because of the thermostat in your home, but they do so much more than that. They make so many of the products that we use each and every day that much better. They make your toothpaste taste great. Their performance materials group is a very large division within Honeywell, and they've been leveraging the Sales Cloud. And they are the inspiration for our next demo. This is the demo of all demo. We're going to show you all these features we've already talked about in this one demo. Who's ready to see this demo? All right. Okay. In this demo, you are going to see how a sales rep goes from lead to opportunity. They're going to work with their own team. They're going to leverage their partner community to win and make this deal bigger. They're going to forecast this deal with their manager, and they're going to win. And to show us this demo, I want to welcome back Mark Wolin. Mark, welcome back.
Great. Hey, thanks,
I'm
Linda.
hoping we do a full demo.
Oh, yeah. We're going to do the whole thing. Working without a
Let's
net
go.
is wonderful. All right, so Honeywell's doing some amazing things with the Sales Cloud, and if I had to distill it to really kind of one kind of key point, the best way to think about it is they use the Sales Cloud to serve as a one-stop shop for all their sales-related needs. And what that means for a sales rep at Honeywell is allows them to basically focus their time, their energies on one thing, driving growth for the business. Now, I'm joined here this morning by my good buddies Will and Clay. Three of us together would like to give everybody here a demonstration of Honeywell in action on the Sales Cloud. Before I do, though, just to kind of ground everybody to get a sense for what this demo is going to kind of look like, I'd like to start with a question. Now, I know it's been kind of unseasonably cold here in San Francisco this week. Maybe you've got some sniffles. Maybe some of you had a little too much of a good time at the Chili Peppers concert last night. So as you were struggling to get your cold medicine or your Tylenol out of one of these little packages, did you ever stop to wonder, my gosh, where does this come from? Who makes this stuff? Well, you know what? The material of this packaging, it's like one of the hundreds of products that the folks at Honeywell Performance Materials are out there selling each and every day. So let's go take a look at how they do it. Well, we're going to start from the standpoint of someone by the name of Scott Thompson. Scott is a direct sales rep at Honeywell. And you know what? Scott uses the Sales Cloud to manage every part of his business, including leads. Now, the good news for Scott is, guess what? He's got a lot of leads. That's a good thing, right? But you know what's really critical for Scott? He doesn't just want a lot of leads. He wants super high quality leads. And the way that he does that is, guess what? He leverages data.com, and specifically the data.com social key. Clicking on social key, what he's able to do is he's able to take his leads and enrich them with valuable third-party social media sources of data from LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter. He can also see snippets of information here from social channels that help him understand the relative level of social influence of one person versus another. This helps him understand how to maybe prioritize who he should call sooner versus later, and it also makes him knowledgeable enough to have a higher probability of converting these leads. Now, Social Key is very valuable because it also is something that stays with the customer record throughout its life inside the Sales Cloud, so that as I work with this customer over a number of years, I may only speak with them, every few months. But when I do, I want to be current about what they're doing professionally, who's influencing them on Twitter, what their passions are personally in Facebook. And you know what? Because that affiliation's already there in social contacts, I'm now able to see that. And so I'm more knowledgeable when I go to reach out to that customer. Now, social is key, of course, for better knowing your customers and being able to better convert your leads, but it's also key to how we sell internally, because team-based sales is critical for success at anywhere, including Honeywell. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can see the team needs to do here on this opportunity at Kent Pharmaceuticals, where Scott is working. And among those, if you think about some of the sophisticated nature of Honeywell's products, it's not uncommon for Scott to have to bring in a sales specialist to work with him side by side on this deal. Well, now, thanks to Opportunity Splits, Scott's able to add a sales overlay to this opportunity. And what that means is they can now work together on one opportunity, but each of them gets the recognition and reward they deserve for the contributions that they make to that opportunity. And the whole notion of team selling, of course, it doesn't stop there, because we all know that when you're working on closing a deal, all the activities that are associated with successfully bringing it to closure are very important. And many times those activities aren't just something that are relevant to one person, they're relevant to many people. Well, now with shared activities, we can take all of that into consideration as a part of how we manage the deal on the Sales Cloud too. Now, of course, another key part of being successful as a salesperson, it's not just about selling with your team. That's very important, of course. It's also about being able to find the right content at the right time, wherever it may exist in the enterprise. And so if we think about this opportunity that Scott's working on, he needs to put a proposal together. Now, he could start from scratch, but what a lot of good salespeople do is they typically find a proposal that they or someone else has done previously that's a good one, and then they kind of repurpose it and make it their own, and they can start from there. It's a lot faster way to work. Well, now, thanks to the power of Sunlight Search right here in the Sales Cloud, Scott can do just that. He can go out and find a proposal, even if it's in that graveyard of other, otherwise known as Microsoft SharePoint, where all good content goes to die. He can find it right there. And what he can do is he can open it up. And he can say, hey, this is a pretty good looking proposal. I think I will use this one. So he resurrects it from the dead. He starts modifying it. And he may not finish everything he needs to do in this proposal right now. He may need to work on it later this afternoon, or maybe next week, or maybe even next month. So in order for him to be able to easily access it at a later time on any device, wherever he may be, he's going to place this in his Chatterbox folder. And so then moving forward, whenever he wants to edit this, whether it's on his iPad, his laptop, or even his smartphone, he can easily access it from there. Now, of course, another key piece here basically is if you think about the way that Scott works, is it's also key for him to be able to interact in a relevant manner with his customers. And typically, a lot of those interactions have to do with, connecting around meetings and emails that go back and forth. And you know what? Whether you like it or not, that takes place in an environment like Microsoft Outlook. Well, the good news I'm happy to report is, guess what? We brought the Sales Cloud right into Outlook. If you look on the right-hand side of the screen here, what you see is the Salesforce side panel for Outlook. This allows Scott to see everything he needs in the Sales Cloud right here in his Outlook environment. This is great stuff. So he doesn't have to go anywhere else. He can see it right here. But it's not just a viewer. It's actually fully interactive as well. So, for example, if you look in the inbox here, you can see an email that Scott's recently received from Jean over at Kent Pharmaceuticals. She's expressing great enthusiasm for the recent quote. They want to move the deal forward. This is great news. Scott should take this email, share the good news with the team, add it to the opportunity. Well, guess what? He can easily do that from the side panel right here. And furthermore, if there's anything he wants to do with this deal at greater detail, if he wants to, access it and modify it in any way, guess what? He can do that right here as well. He clicks on the opportunity in the side panel. It drops him right into the Sales Cloud where he can work in the opportunity. And of course, now that they're moving it forward, he's going to update the sales stage. Now, of course, since they need to start sharpening their pencil and refining the price here, what Scott needs to do is work with the pricing team. And again, what they do at Honeywell is they have social team-based selling as a core principle. They do that with Chatter. And here what you can see is they have Chatter right in the context of the opportunity. So it keeps everybody very, very focused. So Scott and then Casey over in pricing, they can work together. They can collaborate on what is the right deal based on whether it's revenue, margin goals, or whatever combination. And as they come to an agreement, again, that's made available for everybody in the team to be able to share so they're all on the same page. And by the way, Scott can also use Chatter to update the rest of the team on his progress, including his boss, Valerie. And he can let her know that, you know what, this deal is actually progressing pretty darn well. So this is good stuff. Now, let's fast forward a few weeks in this sales cycle. The pricing's been approved, the proposal's been published, and it's been shared with the customer, Jean, and everybody else over at Kent Pharmaceuticals. And you know what the good news is, guess what? The people at Kent like the proposal so much that they want to close the deal. So Scott is getting ready to fly out to go on site to Kent to have that close meeting. Well, he's there at the airport the day before the meeting, ready to fly out. And all of a sudden, his phone rings, and it's Jean. And she says, oh my gosh, I've got a question, Scott, about this proposal. It's something I hadn't noticed before, but now I can't answer for everybody that's going to be in the meeting. And I'm afraid if we don't get this issue off the table, tomorrow's meeting may go sideways. Can you help me out? Well, you know what? Even though Scott's like in line to get on the airplane, even though he's not even on the network, due to the power of Chatterbox, guess what he can do? He can go ahead and basically easily then basically open up and access that document. And he's able to basically kind of answer that question right away and share with her all the good news about how then he can answer that question successfully so that he can have a successful meeting tomorrow, the next day. And it's all there available with offline support. So this is really powerful stuff. Now, we've talked a lot about the notion of selling effectively as a team within Honeywell, but another key part is being able to sell outside Honeywell with key business partners. And you know what? This is where Chatter Communities for Partners plays huge dividends for Honeywell. So what you see here is you see a branded partner portal, right? And you see all the things that Honeywell needs to do with various partners. In this case, it's a partner called CapNutri, where Honeywell provides the materials. CapNutri does the packaging. They're selling together to Kent. And by the way, if they're going to do that successfully, they need to be able to deliver at the same time. Well, now, not only can they collaborate on the deal, but they can collaborate on delivery schedules and stuff like this. All of this social collaboration is a core part of how they now engage with partners. Knowing now that CapNutri and Amy and the whole team there can meet this new delivery schedule gives them the confidence to go forward jointly, knowing they can win this deal. Now, I think the final place where you see the benefits of really kind of all these pieces coming together to drive growth for a company like Honeywell is best seen through the eyes of sales management. And what we'll do now is we'll take a look at the dashboard for Valerie. Valerie happens to be Scott's manager. She's there at Honeywell. And what we're looking at now when we look at her dashboard is basically how she runs her business. There's no shortage of things she can monitor here, including any joined reports she creates in analytics. She can have those expressed here in her dashboard as well. But I want to draw your attention in particular to her forecast by sales reps. Now, this is a great thumbnail level overview of her forecast, but all these things are fully interactive. So as she drills in here, she can see the forecast for her entire team. Now, it just so happens that Valerie's getting ready to submit her own forecast. As she's doing this, though, she realizes that she's about $50,000 short. Where's she going to get that extra $50K? Well, again, thanks to the transparency she has here inside collaborative forecasting, she can see the forecast that's been submitted by everybody on her team. Furthermore, as she drills into those forecasts, she can look at the underlying opportunities that they're composed of. And what she sees, among other things, is number one, Scott's forecast looks good, and she sees that Kent deal in particular, and she's like, that looks really good. I bet I can get $50K out of Kent. But does she do it blindly without talking to Scott? Can she just override his forecast? Really not a good idea. Now, because again, they sell socially, guess what? We've got Chatter Messenger embedded right here inside where they forecast. She can see Scott's available, she can see that he's online, and guess what? You can see the dialogue they're gonna have side by side here in real time where Valerie says, listen, Scott, I'm 50K short. You've got a great quarter, it looks like, coming up, and that deal at Kent looks really strong. Can you give me 50K? And guess what? Scott's able to say, absolutely, I can get you 50K, I can get out of Kent, I got your back, Valerie. Don't worry about it. Override the forecast, and let's get on our way and close this deal. And so this is how you can see with using social, right here inside forecasting, they can drive alignment, in turn improving the performance and the velocity of the overall business. All of it because of the power of it being based in the cloud, allowing people to work productively in the field with mobile, and again, all of it bringing together as a team through social sales. This is the one-stop shop in action at Honeywell, all of it on the Sales Cloud. Linda, I'll hand it back to you.
Mark, I just got to high-five you on winning that deal. All right. Well, I'm so happy this morning to be able to share more of the Honeywell story with you. And I'd like now to bring up Jeff Irmer. He's their Global VP of Sales for the Performance Materials Group. Jeff, welcome to Dreamforce.
Thank you. Great to be here. It's my third Dreamforce. Terrific.
That's great.
Yeah, thanks.
I think what's so interesting about your story is you have within your large division so many discrete business units, and you're running all of those on, I think, one instance of Sales Cloud. So tell everybody how do you accomplish that?
Well, I'll give you a little detail. It's we're one of 4 strategic business groups for Honeywell, Performance Materials, the former Allied Signal, Allied Chemical business. We have 5 P&Ls in the business. We probably have 45 discrete product or geography selling entities. We have about 800 sales reps when you count sales support and service folks as well. We sell direct to customers through OEM relationships. We have distributor relationships. We have toller relationships, which I would, make a parallel to a value-added reseller in your speak, if you will. And what Salesforce has done is given us a common language across these various different, we have sales cycles that are 90 days and 5-year sales cycles.
Right.
We're selling a $35 bottle of a solvent to a biochem through a distributor, and I'm doing a $100 million deal with a national refinery, if you will, like PetroChina or Petrobras. 7-year sales cycle in some cases. So it's very complex, and what Salesforce has given us is a consistent way to look at how we manage these various different sales cycles, businesses, from an account planning perspective, from a pipeline management perspective, how we forecast effectively, and I can readily say that this one business is doing better than this business, and I got to spend some more time over here.
Right.
It's been the great enabler for how we do sales across the variety of stuff we do.
I know you also are a big Chatter user in your sales organization, so tell everybody how you guys are using Chatter.
Yeah. Well, we have in this business group about 350 at last count Chatter groups. I'm probably a member of 40 of them at last count. I don't keep track. But on a daily basis, I'm actually interacting with at least 10 of them, maybe in some cases on an hourly basis, depending on the situation. But I want to give you an example of one where Chatter really hits home as something that's effective in our business. And pardon me ahead of time for being a little arcane. But one of our businesses is one of the largest manufacturers of a product called caprolactam, which is the feedstock for nylon resin. So nylon resin goes into carpeting, goes into automotive, goes into nice clothes, that type of thing. And one of the byproducts of making this resin is something called ammonium sulfate, which is fertilizer, serving the agricultural community. Just to put it in context, we fill this room with ammonium sulfate on a weekly basis.
Wow.
We got to sell this stuff. It's a commodity type product, and pricing moves differently in different parts of the globe. So it may be more advantageous to move it to China or Indonesia than it would to Brazil, and we don't know that. And Chatter has helped us understand pricing movements on a real-time basis, on a global basis. 1 penny means $10 million annually.
Wow.
So we're looking to save this kind of money. And we figure just by getting better information, much more accurately ascribed, we've probably saved several $million worth of profit in this one Chatter group. We've been doing it now for probably 18 months.
That's great. There's one more part of your story that I really love, because I think we share this common vision, which is you want to take your entire team mobile on their phone and on a tablet within 18 months, and we want to help you with that.
Sure.
So describe your vision for how that's going to happen.
Now, right now, we are a laptop-dominated selling force. We have about 80 test tablet pilots going on with, actually gave them to our President's Club. We have about 50 winners in President's Club, and they got a gift for an Apple iPad. We're testing the Samsung device with Windows 8. And the vision is, as Salesforce becomes more and more part of our culture and part of how we drive sales, the actual mobile device is increasing our adoption rate tremendously. Sales guys that are using these test devices, are remarking how well and how much time they're conserving, that they're saving, that they can actually do something novel as make another sales call. So it's a terrific, terrific way. We're not there yet with the complete functionality of email on a tablet device. We're really close, and that will be the prime mover to getting us to where we need. I envision in a year, all our sales reps will be on some kind of a tablet device, and we're looking forward to that time.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. Thanks, Jeff.